In 1990, Voyager 1 turned its camera back toward Earth and captured what became humanity's first cosmic selfie, a tiny, pale blue dot, suspended in a shaft of sunlight. But now, decades later, something strange is happening. Voyager 1 has begun transmitting bizarre signals back to Earth, signals that NASA has officially labeled as abnormal. Could this be a malfunction? Or are we witnessing something truly extraordinary? Perhaps even a response to the Golden Record, or contact with something beyond our understanding? Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were launched in 1977, and have since traveled farther than any human-made object, over 24 and 20 billion kilometers from the Sun, respectively. Originally, their mission was to explore the outer planets. And they did so brilliantly. Voyager 2 remains the only spacecraft to have visited all four gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, in a single journey. It revealed Uranus and Neptune's odd magnetic fields and icy interiors, forever changing our view of the outer planets. The Voyagers also discovered dozens of new moons, 3 around Jupiter, 4 around Saturn, 11 around Uranus, and 6 around Neptune. Among the most groundbreaking revelations came from Jupiter's moon Io, where Voyager 1 found active volcanoes, the first seen beyond Earth. Voyager 2 spotted the first clear images of rings around Uranus and Neptune. It also hinted at a subsurface ocean beneath Europa's icy crust, possibly a cradle for alien life. But their greatest legacy might not be what they found around planets, but what they discovered beyond them. As the Voyagers exited the planetary region, they entered the outer limits of the Sun's influence, an enormous region called the heliosphere. Shaped by solar wind, streams of charged particles blowing outward, the heliosphere acts like a protective bubble against the harsh radiation of interstellar space. At its outer boundary lies the heliopause, where the solar wind stops and the interstellar medium begins. This is where the known solar system ends and the unknown begins. When Voyager 1 crossed the heliopause in 2012, it revealed something astonishing. The interstellar magnetic field was 2 to 3 times stronger than expected, and particle pressure was nearly 10 times higher than predicted. Unfortunately, Voyager 1's plasma detector had failed decades earlier. Voyager 2, which crossed the boundary in 2018, had a working plasma sensor. It showed that plasma slowed, compressed, and heated up as the spacecraft approached the boundary, but not as much as expected. Curiously, the interstellar medium was found to be around 30,000 degrees Celsius, far hotter than anyone imagined. Another surprise. Particles were flowing across the boundary in both directions. One low-energy stream extended 160 million kilometers back into the heliosphere. And the transitions weren't the same. Voyager 1 entered a surprisingly calm region, while Voyager 2 faced a dynamic, fluctuating environment. This suggests the edges of our solar system may look very different depending on where you cross. Heliophysicist Patrick Cohn summed it up: "This is really quite strange. It proves we absolutely need more data. We still don't know the heliosphere's true shape. Some think it's spherical, others think it resembles a croissant or a comet's tail." The Voyagers gave us answers and new questions. But perhaps the biggest mystery arrived in 2022. Voyager 1 began sending back gibberish. The signals received on Earth were scrambled, distorted, and completely incoherent. Yet strangely, the spacecraft continued to respond to commands. The radio signal was stable. The instruments kept working. Only the telemetry, data about the spacecraft itself, was garbled. Speculation surged. Was this a software glitch? A hardware failure? Or something more speculative? Had Voyager encountered something out there in the void? Something intelligent? NASA eventually traced the issue to the Attitude and Articulation Control System, the subsystem that keeps the antenna locked on Earth. This system had suddenly begun sending telemetry through a computer that hadn't been used in decades. That old computer was defunct, so the signal became unreadable. Engineers instructed the system to reroute the data through a working computer. It worked. The telemetry returned to normal. But why had it switched in the first place? NASA kept digging. Eventually, they found that around 3% of the memory in the flight data subsystem, the system responsible for packaging and formatting outgoing data, had been corrupted. The likely culprit? A degraded chip. After nearly 50 years in deep space, it had either worn out or been struck by a high-energy cosmic particle. So no, aliens didn't reprogram Voyager. But the incident reminds us of something just as profound. Even after half a century, Voyager 1 is still alive, still exploring, still teaching us. It continues to operate in one of the harshest environments imaginable, billions of kilometers from home, sending back whispers from the edge of the unknown. And with every signal it sends, it reminds us how fragile and extraordinary our machines, and our species, truly are.